Our first guest is the very funny host who can be seen in his garage every night on the Late Late Show. Please welcome my friend, the adorable, the talented James Corden.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
You know, I'm okay.
Before we get started, I want to thank you because you helped out with our guerrilla Palooza when we were doing the live auction, and I had so much fun.
Wasn't it great?
Watching it. You're so good at that. You were fantastic.
Well, I don't know about that, but I had a really, really great time. I found the entire thing very moving, actually. It was you. You had a beautiful video with you and Portia and explaining all about it, and then we got to do the fun bit, which was really just trying to raise all this money. I just loved being on a stage with you. I thought it was great. I feel like when all of these shows are over for us, that could be a real thing we could do. We could just take that on the road.
I would do anything to be with you on stage. I think you're fantastic, and you were so great at that. And we've spoken several times throughout this quarantine, but when this first started, I really had no idea what we were in for. And you did. You thought that this would end up being this long, right?
Well, yes, I think so. Well, only because I think just the nature of a airborne virus tells you that it isn't something that takes a truce. It's not something that we all sort of retreat indoors for a few weeks and it goes away. It's essentially what you wanted to do. I think this is the thing that perhaps has not been conveyed quite well enough, is what you wanted to do is last for a while, because then it means that hospitals and emergency rooms aren't overwhelmed. People are getting treatment in the safest way. So, I mean, look, I can remember you and we were texting on the Friday. We were sort of saying, you were saying, what are you going to do with your show? And I remember saying, we're not going to have an audience. And you said, same. And then 2 hours later, we were like, yeah, no, we're just not going to have a show, because we were under the impression that we'd be able to go into work and be around people. And so we've all had to find a way to do this in the best way that we can. But yeah, it was a strange time. And it was 2 months ago. And in one sense, it feels a decade ago. And in another, it feels like it was yesterday. Yeah.
No, it just feels like a decade ago for me. It doesn't even feel like yesterday. It feels like it's been a long, long time since I've done anything remotely normal. It's strange, but yeah, it's true. We were talking about not doing it with an audience, and then 2 hours later, we're like, I guess we're not doing a show at all. And then we figured out how to do it this way. And you have karaoke. You have Carpool Karaoke, and that seems like that's going to be a long time away, right?
I think it'll be a while before we're singing in a car with anybody. Yes. So yeah, unless we can't really think of a remote way to do it. It really does rely on two people being in close proximity. So, that's all right. That's okay. Well, you just sort of hope for the day, because this is the thing. I think it's like, I think we're all experiencing those spikes of anxiety and you're scared and fear and all those things, and families and friends, and you want to see people and all those things. Whenever I find myself getting like that, I just start to think about the day, whenever that may be, when it is safe, and it is safe to go out again, and it's safe for you to go out and dance around your audience, and it's safe for me to get in a car with someone. I think it's going to be the greatest boom of joy we've ever experienced. So anytime I find myself, or me and my wife, or particularly our kids, thinking, oh man, this is tough, you just go, well, right around the corner, there's going to be, I think, a glorious moment. I have no idea how long away that is, but I think it will be spectacular.
I agree. It will. That's a good way to look at it. It will be amazing when we are able to do that, and there will be it'll be a new kind of appreciation and joy that, and that's what I think that this is teaching us, is to appreciate all kinds of different things that we took for granted. You and your family are, I think, you have kids, so you have a different experience than Portia and I. We're just here, but your kids are homeschooling now, so that adds another level of stress, right?
Oh, it adds like 25 layers of stress. It's a nightmare. It's, I mean, firstly, it's hard to know who's being homeschooled, whether it's me or my son. If I'm ever sat in with lessons with him, I find myself going, "Wow, I did not know that." and then in other times, it's not even that. It's the homeschooling with the lessons and things is fine. It's the homework where I can't do it, and my son's 9. So and I find myself, and this is deeply irresponsible, I find myself going, you know what, Max? Honestly, you're not going to need any of this in life. Like, do you remember when we were at school, teachers would go, well, what are you going to do when there isn't a calculator around? And you're like, well, now there is always a calculator around. We have always got a calculator. Right. You don't need to know this. Do you know what? It's recess. Daddy needs a drink. And that's really how it plays out.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how I would be as a parent all the time. Yeah. I wanna come back. We're gonna take a break because I don't know why. There's no need, but we have to. We're gonna take a break, and then I want to talk about your eye because you had eye surgery, and it just sounds like.
Well, that's going to get them coming back after the break. That's going to get them going, well, don't change channel because I want to hear about his eye.
Yeah, I want to hear about the eye surgery. That's the tease we're using.
Wow.
We'll be right back.